Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to dive into another Microsoft Purview topic, which is the sensitive information type. Um, this sensitive information type is there for quite a long time. Earlier it was present in the Microsoft compliance portal. Now Microsoft has moved everything into the Purview, into a unified catalog where you'll be able to see all the options in the Microsoft Purview portal. So let's take a little bit of deep dive and we'll see a couple of examples and how they are going to help in your organization protecting the sensitive information. So if you ask me about the sensitive information type, which is present in the Microsoft Purview, these are the building blocks that help any organization to automatically detect and protect the sensitive data which is present in your Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Let's say in the SharePoint, uh, Word documents, or anything in the email. So the first thing, like if you talk about how to successfully implement a data loss prevention, I always say first knowing your data is the key factor to protect it. So first we need to identify and classify the data. Only then you will be able to keep your information secure and comply at every stage. So if you ask me the data loss prevention, there are four key pillars which you need to do uphand before implementing any data loss prevention solution. So the first thing is like you need to identify the sensitive data and classify them based on the sensitivity, and finally you need to monitor them and implement the proactive measures. And last but not the least, you also need to have a governance around your data, like how long you need to retain the data and which are the data that you can dispose after after some time. So if you ask me about this sensitive information type, these are the offers that's coming from the Microsoft Purview, which has specific patterns or configuration in the Microsoft Purview that helps you to detect and protect the sensitive data. So for example, it includes personal, financial, health data, intellectual property, and also the last one is very interesting. For example, even detecting the client secrets, the Azure storage account keys, and Amazon storage keys, Google API keys. These things are the most common patterns you would be able to notice, like the developers or the engineers storing this commonly in the text file or in the Word document. So these sensitive information types helps enforce the data protection policies across the documents, emails in your Office 365, in the Microsoft 365 environment. So if you ask me why they are important, they first help you in doing the automated data discovery. They are able to find the sensitive data without any manual efforts, and with this we will be able to do the data loss prevention, like stop accidental data sharing using the LP policies, and of course we would be able to ensure the compliance to help meet the legal and the regulatory standards. So the first and the foremost thing, if you want to look into the sensitive information types, is obviously you need to come into the Microsoft Purview portal. So in this video we'll go through what's new since the migration from the compliance portal, and then we'll demo through few examples and see like how the default templates, whatever it's available, it's going to help us. And also we'll try to create one custom sensitive info type and see how it is working. So in order to talk about the migration update, like you might have been used this SIT, the sensitive information type in the Microsoft compliance portal. Now you notice that SITs have now fully migrated into the Purview portal. So I see the experience is really nice. Like it's below the classifiers, which is like a centralized management. You have the SITs, the labels, policies, everything is in one place. And then it's an easier navigation. You will be able to search edits of SITs from the same place. And also you have the advanced classifiers, like for example, I already talked about the credential sets, like client secrets are now bundled, and also they are present in the same place. For example, if you want to make use of the client secrets, another important point is you need to enable the advanced classification. Basically you have to go into the settings, and then you need to turn on the enable advanced classification. Only then the advanced templates, like the detecting the shared secrets, the storage account keys would be working. So having enough talked about that, let's see one example how it is working. So if you talk about the sensitive info types, the default templates offered from the Microsoft, they have some standard regex patterns, and by default there are 327 as of now. So you can calculate as 300 plus items, and I have just created two of them to show some additional examples of how the custom sensitive info type works. So in this, like, there are a lot of things, like for example, let me take one example of the credit card. Let me start with credit card. So this is a credit card number. So I've just created some static documents to show you, but this one is definitely not the real ones. So this is a template for the credit card number. Before applying any sits, like, you have an option to test, and you can upload a file over here. And here, like for example, I just created some test document. Let's see how it works. So I just uploaded them, click on test, and then if it matches the result, it is going to give us the results. So you see, like, the credit card numbers, like, this is the low unique matches. You have the policy low, medium, and high. You take a look at that in when creating the custom sets. So in this document, I had like three credit card numbers, which I asked the Copilot to give me a document, which it gave me. This, of course, a test document. So which has the credit card information. It is able to detect. So if you want to apply this kind of test, for example, for a financial department or any department dealing with the credit cards, obviously you would be able to apply this. So let's go back to the next one. More than this, I'm interested, especially on the IT side, where you talk about storing secrets. Let's go back to secrets. There are a lot of uh, there are a lot of such use cases specifically focused to the IT department, where you could detect these kind of sensitive information. So I'm just going to show you excuse me, I'm just going to show you one example: client secret and API key. So this detects any kind of client secret and API keys that's stored in a text file or a document file. So that is really going to help, because we could see these kind of examples, especially from the developers and engineers. They can do it unintentionally. So I'm just going to test, upload a file, and then of course I also got this cloud secrets text extended document from the Copilot. So of course this is not real data. So I'm just going to click on test. The moment when you click on test, obviously it is going to look for the regex pattern according to the policy which we have, and you see the client secret and API key. Of course, there are some examples in this document, and that's the reason you are able to see the matches. So this is really good, right? Because you could see these kind of examples definitely from the IT perspective, and you might be struggling a way to find a solution. So you can definitely make use of this feature if your organization is already utilizing Microsoft 365 EFI capabilities. So I'm just closing this one. The next part is I will also show you, for example, the Amazon client secret. It's not limited only to the Microsoft ecosystem. So this cloud secret document also has some example for the Amazon, and let's see the results. Let's give it some time. Yeah, you see, these are the Amazon S3 client secret access key. Obviously, you have the level to set medium high. We will take a look at that in the next few minutes. So this is also good. It's also able to detect the non-Microsoft platforms. Even I had some Google API keys. It's also detecting it. So let's not look at that. It's working, but you can also test it and let me know your comment in the video. But few things which I noticed, I wanted to give a highlight, because for example, I see the Microsoft Entra client secret. I tested this, it's not working, but the client secret API key, the flat one, is working. So I don't know why the Microsoft has these three templates, but when I tested the client secret API key with the real secrets, it's working. So of course you can use the second one and make use of it. but the Microsoft Enter client secret maybe needs some adjustment from Microsoft, and then possibly it might start working. But of course, you can definitely use the client secret API key now. It's working for the real keys as well. Let's go back a little bit, and also, for example, I can show you the storage account key. This also the Azure storage account key. If anyone is storing the storage account key, of course, it would be able to detect that one as well. So I have some test storage account key, which is not real. Sorry, not here, but it was able to detect the Azure storage account key. I have some real ones, but I don't want to show this on the demo, but it is working. You can definitely test and let me know your feedback. The next one, which I really wanted to show, is creating the custom sensitive info types, because we usually see the custom sensitive info types that's applicable for most of the environments, because we don't go only with the default ones, because custom ones are more important in any of the solutions based on the sensitive info that might be in your organization, which you need to apply the sensitivity. So here in this case, I have just created one for the detecting the employee ID. I will show you. So this is the employee ID which is created. By creating the custom set is very simple. You just click on create sensitive info type, and then I will just show you how I created. So when I click on edit, of course, it is going to give some name. You need to give the name and description. In our case, I've just given employee ID. The moment when you go next, there is a good option to give the patterns. Like the pattern is nothing but like the regex, which you need to define based on which the sensitive information is identified. So for example, when you click on edit, here the confidence level is something you can choose, the high confidence, medium, or the low confidence. In this case, I have just selected the high confidence. And the regular expression, you need to define the regular expression, how the string match is going to be for the employee. So in this case, I have just defined this as an example. And still, there are a few validators you can add. For example, the validators, you can do the date. You can also add the IBAN. A lot of things is there. So if you want, you can do that. And apart from that, there is also something called supporting elements. The supporting elements is like a kind of a keyword or anything that you can add that would help identifying the sensitive information. For example, in this case, I added a keyword list, and I added something called employee ID. So there is also a possibility someone can store the employee ID and then mention the employee ID. So that's the reason these supporting elements are present. So after you complete this, obviously the policy is ready and you will be able to publish this. So since I'm not going to do any modification, I'm just clicking on cancel. I wanted to show you an example how it is working. So I also created a sample file to show you how it is working. So let me check which one. Yeah, I just created. I think I added it here. Let's see. Yeah. So if you take a look at it, I had some employee IDs mentioned in the document, and then just when we are doing the test, it is obviously able to match them and give the results. So since the we also have the high pattern, three unique matches, we see them. So even with this custom SIP, you are able to detect uh, the custom sensitive information that could be applicable for your organization. So in this like video, I would definitely like to say, if you are definitely having the Microsoft 365 e-file license, I would highly recommend to make use of this, because SIDS can automatically detect sensitive data from, for example, from the built-in templates, like storage account keys. But one thing I want to tell, these built-in templates, whatever you see, they are not editable. You can use them. So if you want to create custom one, you have to create a new custom sets, so you won't be able to add to the default built-in templates. So of course, definitely I highly recommend to make use of this sets, which is really helpful in identifying the sensitive information. And also the migration from the compliance portal definitely makes the management smoother and more powerful. uh, I would definitely say make use of this, and then it would really help any organization to detect the sensitive information. Um, if you found this helpful, or if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video, and I'm happy to have a conversation on this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.